Hello, hello, happy Freedom Friday, everybody. It's Tawana here, and I am just taking advantage of a wonderful moment. It is Friday in Maryland, and the temperature is going up to like 60 today. And so as I sat in my room looking out, at the window, and I was like, why am I working inside? It's Friday. Why am I working inside? Right? Why am I trying to write this book inside? So now, low key, for real, I'm off on Friday, so I don't see clients, but I decided today to finish rewriting one of the chapters of my book. And I looked over out the window and I said, I remember all those times when I was working for the federal government. There were many days, many times I worked right there in the National Mall, and I'd be all into a project and I couldn't take off, and the sun would be shining, and it was spring. And I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm sitting in the office missing this. And then part of my time I worked near the Navy Yard, and it's like the piers, the harbor is right there. It's right there. And again, I would be hardworking, and when I would come out, the sun would be going down. It was time to jump in traffic and rush home. So I am celebrating the freedom as an entrepreneur to really set up my darn office anywhere I want to. How cool is that? So today I'm really here to talk about, how or why I became a part of the Great Migration. I am. I left my full time job this month. As a matter of fact, is a year that I resigned from a full time job. I left my six-figure federal job and decided to do this full time entrepreneurship full time, right? Now, for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Tawana Carter. I'm a career transition coach, and I coach high achieving professional women to overcome that fear and doubt that comes with transitioning into a new job. And I do that by helping them to recognize and communicate, because that communicating part is important, to recognize and communicate their unique value, as well as by instilling a deep sense of belief in their own strengths and abilities so that they can confidently and courageously pursue the career that is best fit for them. And so again, today is like my Freedom Fridays. Again, I'm off every Friday. I don't see clients on Fridays. I figured I was going to, set up my own business and do things my way. Why work on a Friday? And that's just what I do. I've always loved Fridays off. I don't know. It was something about working to get to Friday that I never liked. I just like having the whole Friday. So there it is. This is what I do now. So how did I get to this point? So really, it's 12 years ago in October. I actually started I'm a licensed therapist in addition to being a career transition coach. So I've been a part-time therapist for 12 years now, you know, and I was actually doing coaching inside of my therapy business, and went through a couple of changes, applied for the Presidential Management Fellow program with the OPM, which is the human resources wing of the federal government. One that got selected as a PMF fellow. Then I moved to the DC area, and I started off working for Ginnie Mae, which is a part of HUD. And then I worked for OCIO, which is the Office of the Chief Information Officer. And as a budget analyst, a financial analyst, did that for the Navy. And then this thing popped up called COVID, right? Now again, other than the first 2 years of my fellowship, I didn't see that many clients. But after my fellowship ended, I picked back up, got licensed in Maryland, and opened an office in Maryland, and I was also seeing people in Alabama and Virginia. And then as part of my fellowship program, I was assigned a coach, right? And working with that coach really allowed me to see quite a few things in my life. And one of the things that I did after a year working with my coach was I pulled my coaching out of my therapy. And so I have two businesses. I have JBC Counseling and Consulting, which I've done that for 12 years now. And I also have Tawana Carter Professional and Personal Coaching, which is what I do in addition to my therapy, right? And so I remember hiring my first business coach, and she says, well, yeah, Tawana, you can do this full time. And I was like, I don't know. Well, maybe if my, federal income matches, if I can get, match this business to meet or beat my federal income, I could consider doing this full time. I don't know. and we kind of went in with activity. So when COVID came, I decided that I did not want to go back into the office. High risk for COVID wasn't something I wanted to do. So I chose to leave federal service. And of course, before I did that, I ran my numbers. I was already making more part time than I was full time working for the federal government. It was just a no brainer situation for me. About 3 weeks into entrepreneurship, I kind of wondered why I didn't do this years and years ago. Because again, it's the sense of freedom and, a couple of things that really helped me that advice that I give to others that are considering, if you're in corporate, especially, and you're looking to leave corporate because you want to find something that's not as demanding of your time, but because, running a business is demanding, but the reason why you're doing what you're doing really shifts and changes. Working for the federal government was demanding, especially as a budget analyst. Much love to all my financial analysts and budget analysts out there. I know, because as soon as you get on that zoom down to the end of the fiscal year, you really pop, pop, pop. So it's yes, it's busy. Entrepreneurship is busy, but the reason and the purpose behind it is different. And when I came to the DC area, I had in my mind a career path that I was going to do. When I got here, I was like, I don't really want to do that. If you're listening earlier, Wednesday, I talk about how to leave a job you hate, because sometimes you get to a job and go, ooh, wrong decision. No, this is not going to work. So I came here with a career purpose in mind. And after about a month or two, I was like, it's not really working for me. And it took, I tried to do some different things to make that work. And COVID, I did like a lot of people did during COVID. I started reconsidering my choices. I started questioning my career path. Why? Where was my career going? Where was it? Where was it going? And what did it matter what I did? Now, yes, what I did was important, but it didn't really match to my purpose, and I was loving the coaching. I've done career coaching since I was in the military many, many moons ago. I was commissioned a second lieutenant into the Army in 1987. So I've been doing career coaching on and off for that long. And really, I loved it. And I loved doing it. I liked counseling, but I loved also doing career coaching. And so, really, for me, understanding career clarity helped me to make that decision to leave full-time employment and become an entrepreneur. Again, it was a no-brainer, right? Some people's like, "Oh my God, but you were making six figures and you had insurance." Well, I have insurance now and I'm still making six figures. It can be done. So here are my tips, right? Here's what I found that you can really do when you talk about leaving that full-time job confidently and courageously to design the career that you want. Number one, do understand your career clarity, right? It must match your purpose, because your business is yours. Entrepreneurship, it's your baby, right? And so when career clarity matches a purpose and it's aligned, it is much easier to make that leap into entrepreneurship, much easier to make the decision. I never want to give the impression that entrepreneurship is a cakewalk, because it's not. It has its moments where it's cakewalking, because what, I'm off on a Friday, and as soon as I get done with this live, I'm going back to write my book. That's all I have planned for the day, right? Okay, that in one article, but that's it, because I'm off on Fridays. But I work and I put in the work hours on the other days. But it's my purpose and it feels good, right? And also, just resolve any lingering guilt about feeling like, oh, but I quit my career and I'm doing something else. No, you shifted. You're not quitting, you're not giving up, you're shifting, and that's okay, right? Do be sure to establish, get well entrenched in a network of folks who can help you. I like to call it the circle of support. Other entrepreneurs, some members of your family, sometimes not. Sometimes your families only know working for someone else, and they're not always that supportive of being an entrepreneur. But find the right people in your circle of support, and you be that support for others as well. right? Of course, it goes without saying, create a financial stability plan. Like you heard me say, I ran my numbers before I started making that decision. I kind of felt like I was being pressured to come back in the office, and it wasn't safe for me because it was like the height of the pandemic, between June and August of 2020. I just felt like that wasn't safe for me. So I started running my numbers. I was like, oh, okay, well, numbers are fine. I make more money part time than I do full time. So my numbers are fine. And then there are other things, insurance for your family, dental, vision, those kinds of things. Because I had college age kids. So that's what I was concerned about. But I actually found an insurance policy that was much better than the federal plan I had. My kids are fully covered. They are in college. They have vision and they have dental. Because as you know, when they hit 23, they lose vision and they lose dental. They keep medical insurance, but not the vision or the dental. So the policy I have now, they're fully covered, and it's less than what I was paying for the federal government, which makes me really, really happy. Ask me who I spoke to if you are, leaning in that direction and you just want to plug, check one thing off your list, right? Also create a learning plan, right? Create some. I'm a lifetime learner, so I'm always taking training. I love it. I love to learn things. I love to meet people when I learn. I always like the fact that whatever I learn, I'm able to help my clients, and to do better or to achieve more, that kind of thing. So, look at being entrepreneurship. Yes, it's a lifelong learning process because you're learning in your business, but you do need to keep up your education in whatever niche field you decide to do, right? And then also look at your plans, your quarterly plans, your monthly plans, your yearly plans. Have that strategic plan ready. I have a coach now, love him, Jared Pollock, and he has us go through this exercise where you're looking at your plan. What's the quarter, what's the year, what's the 2 year, what's the 3 year. Have that in place, and that's a guide. It doesn't say you got to stick to it exactly, but it's a guide that helps you to focus on what you need to be doing, or and if you need to shift, it tells you that as well. All right. And so again, I never want to give the impression that entrepreneurship is just easy peasy. For some people it is. You can get a business that's more hands off and it's pretty easy peasy, but when you start out the gate, you're going to be working up. And so, like I said, full disclosure, I have two businesses, and I've had one at the time that I resigned for almost 11 years. So that business was well established. It was nothing more than going from part-time to doing it full-time, increasing my hours. And when I say full-time, between my coaching and therapy clients, I see 20 to 22, 3 people a week. But for me, that's full-time. I don't want to work 40 hours, anymore. So for me, that's full-time. And some of you may, want to work 40 hours in your business and see that many clients and those types of things. And it just depends on what kind of business you have. Mine is a consulting business. Counseling is considered consulting and coaching is considered consulting. And so, my prices and my packages are set so that I don't have to see, 40, 50, 60 people every week. I know entrepreneurs that do that. I don't. That's a choice that I made, right? I would like to work smarter and not necessarily harder, but I will work hard when it comes to, making sure my clients are taken care of, and that's always a choice. So happy Friday again. If you are inkling or wondering what it would be like to take that leap or take those first steps, so let me just say the first thing that you don't need to do, don't quit your job. Unless you're one of those, really, fortunate people where you already have that 6 to 18 months, salary already saved. Those people can think about quitting their job while they decide to become an entrepreneur. Other than that, I wouldn't advise you to quit your job, because depending on how your business is and whether or not you need to get bank loans and that type of thing to set it up, you're going to need some income to prove to the bank that you're they can trust you with that loan, right? And so, and I say that because oftentimes people will go, I can't afford to quit my job to become an entrepreneur. I was like, you don't have to. It's a process. I was in the process for almost 11 years. I'd had one business for 10 years, 10 and a half when I resigned. And then I had the other business for 3 years. So they were pretty much established. And so it was an easier choice for me to go full-time entrepreneurship entrepreneurship versus someone who's not even sure what they want to do right now. If that's you, you're just really not sure, you want to be an entrepreneur, you're tired of the rat race, you're tired of the stress, you're tired of the burnout, you're tired of long hours spent away from your family. If that's you, I do give a free career consultation. It's 15 minutes, doesn't cost you a thing. And we sit and we chit chat about where you are, where you like to go, and then what's the gap in between. If we hit it off and it's a match, we think we click together, then I offer you a 45 to 60-minute consult. That's where the work really starts, right? Work on my part. You're just talking and giving me information. We're just seeing. And basically, when you get done with that consultation, you pretty much have a three-step plan, three-pronged plan that you can execute and move forward. So if that is you and you're wanting to do that, you're more than welcome to set up an appointment with me. And so let me grab that. I'm normally on my game on the other days a week when I do live, but I didn't have that. I didn't have that link for you, but here it is now. Because normally I have this, when I have my lives and they're all scripted and all that good stuff. It's not gonna let me do it. So what I'll do is it's not letting me make a chat. So what I'll do is, let's see, comments. I will circle back and put that link. There is one you can see it on the bottom of the frame there. You can do that link, and then I'll just go to each of the places because I'm on live with Facebook and LinkedIn. I'll go ahead and drop that link for you, and then I'll also post it on YouTube. So you can grab that link there and set up your free 15-minute consultation with me. Happy Friday for those of you who are already off. Enjoy for those of you who are heading toward getting off. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for hanging in there to the end. Take care. Bye-bye.